Here is a Framon 2. I took off the cutter guard so that you can better see this whole process. I am going to cut a Tibbe key on this machine. So first, I have to remove the standard jaw, take the springs out, because we are going to reuse them. This is the Tibbe jaw, the bottom part. Slide it on, put the springs in, the top part, get the springs to line up and find their home. There they are. Alright, you can see it has M and M on one side, so you know you're putting it together right. Reattach the wing nut. Now I always like to fully clamp it to ensure that it's seated properly. Okay. So now we have to remove the standard cutter. I'm going to take this nut off. Notice the spacer that sits right here, right there against the wheel. That is a standard spacer. Let's get this off. The Tibbe kit also came with a large spacer. So it goes spacer, cutter or slaughter, original spacer, and nut. Give it a little tighten. Alright. So we have to index the jaw and cutter real quick. And to do that, we have to pull the carriage forward. Okay? And we have to bump this part on the side of the slaughter. I'm going to wheel it this direction real quick. Check it. It's almost there. So now you can just turn the spacing handle until it contacts. Right there. It is just barely contacting. Any further and it gets stopped. Right there is perfect. So then we have to roll it 0.60 inches further. So there's 50 right there, and then 5 and 10, there's 60. So that is our cut 8 essentially, or 1. I forget, but now we index our spacing block number 3 to this position right here, spacing increment 0.08. Okay, so now it's set up and ready to cut. Now, we're cutting an 8-cut key Jaguar. And quickly I'll show you. There's a little slot in that portion right there at the very end. And you have to fit your Tibbe key into it. See? Okay. I'll go ahead and tighten it down a little bit. This is a 1 cut, which is a no cut. The second depth is in between the 2 long hashes. That little hash is a 2. And this one over here, the very last, is a 3 in our 8 cut Tibbe setup. If we were doing a 6 cut for forward, the long hashes would be our indicators. You know, this center one, no cut, which is a 1. This would be a 2, 3, and a 4. But this system only has 3 depths, and it's a little different. So this is our 1, no cut. This is our 2, the little one. And our 3 is the last one. Alright, so just set that up like that. And so, oops, this camera mount is a kind of a pain in the butt. It was a gift. I like it. It just doesn't hold still very well. This is a Jaguar door handle with a lock. And if you look at it, hold on, let me get my bearings. If you look at it, you can see that they're numbered. There's only 7 positions in the door lock. That very last one right there says 1. The second one has no mark. Then it has 2, 2, no mark, 2. The ones without marks are 3 cuts, or 3 depths. Actually, let me see here. Looking through this camera. It goes 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. So, let's get to cutting. Show you what this is all about. Oh, now it's not auto-focusing. Using my old iPhone. It's being a bit of a pain. Alrighty. So, this first position that I'm at is a 1, so it's a no cut. Second position is a 3. So let's go ahead and set it up. Alright. You can see I've set it up for the 3 depth. How do I turn autofocus off on this phone? Good Lord. So I'm just going to start milling away. Here we go. Going to the other side. Gonna flip it over. Other side. Okay. So now I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 5th and then the 6th. 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna lay down 3s on this space. Flip it over. Everything's vibrating. Go to the next space. Flip it over. Next side. Okay. So I've laid down all the threes, I believe. Let's find our next. So I'll do 2 and 2. There's only 2 and 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay. So we'll go over to 7, which is right there. Or we're going to set this to 2s. Okay. Like this. See, if I wasn't explaining this, I'd be done by now. I'm just trying to show off this old technology. This thing doesn't like to stay still. Alright. So, here's the key. It's not perfect. But this is old technology. It works. Works beautifully. So, any blank key will turn the lock to the locked position, but only a good code cut key will turn it to the unlocked position. Comes out, we'll flip it over. Battery. See, those all will move. Then it turns. Pretty cool stuff. I'll need to recalibrate it because the spine. Oh, I forgot to set the depth. No wonder. I forgot to set the depth of the cutter. Shit. That's why it was not cutting right. It's cutting too deep. It should have been set right here where if the key was in a 1 depth position, the cutter wouldn't contact. It would only just barely bristle against the key, but I had it set too deep, so my cuts are too deep, but regardless, it still works. I was wondering what I did wrong. Anywho, it works. That's cool. So, Jaguar key made. And I'll show you what it looks like, because this is the second one I cut. The one that was cut to the right depths. See the spine going all the way down it. Zoom in. Spine goes all the way down. So hard to film with this old iPhone. That's what it should look like. Pretty key. And it turns both ways as well. Lock, unlock. And just to show you a miscut that I made, lock does not turn to the unlock position. See the marks on my finger? So, yeah, old school Tibbe adapter for a Framon 2. Works just fine. Kind of a neat little thing to have.